Hi, my name is Ovia Dushyanthan, and my project is on the effects of mutations in the human brain. And I chose this topic because it's always been really interesting to me how something so small, like a really small mistake, can have such a huge effect on a person's body and the way it functions. So here you can see the overall structure of DNA, and it's important to note that the DNA in our body holds the specific instructions on how it should function and develop. And an accidental change in our DNA or other functions in our body is called a mutation. And these mutations can cause disorders or diseases to develop, some of which can affect our brains. Now, mutations typically occur during what's known as the central dogma of biology, and this is how the instructions in DNA are transferred to RNA, which then help with the creation of a protein. And this protein later helps with different chemical processes in our body. And also, this is a quick note, the protein in our body is made up of molecules called amino acids, and these amino acids are each made depending on the RNA sequence. So I researched three different types of mutations specifically. One of which is a point mutation. And in a point mutation, the nucleotide in a sequence is replaced with the wrong one. And this can cause the wrong amino acid chain to form, possibly causing the wrong protein to form or one that's ineffective. And this affects the organism's body because some chemical processes might not occur in the proper way that they're usually supposed to. Another mutation is the frameshift mutation, and in this one, instead of replacing a nucleotide, an extra one is added in, or one that's already in the sequence is taken out. And once again, this can cause the wrong amino acid chain to form. Finally, we also have non-disjunction mutations, and this is where the chromosomes don't divide properly during cell division, and this uneven distribution of genes can cause like the affected organism to have either too much like DNA or not enough. So, from these specific types of mutations, there are numerous types of diseases and disorders that can develop, and one of them is sickle cell disease. And this occurs from a point mutation in hemoglobin. And what it does is that it changes the shape of our red blood cells, causing them to like clot and jam up in blood vessels. And this prevents blood and oxygen from going to our brains. And there isn't really any cure for this. However, there are types of treatments such as bone marrow transplants and eye exams, and also a couple of others that can help like whoever's affected deal with the symptoms. Another type of disease is Huntington's disease, which happens from a frameshift mutation, and it causes the neurons in a person's body to get damaged. And the symptoms of this are that the person might have like difficulties with learning and judgment and also have volatile emotions. And once again, there isn't really a cure for this, but there are treatments like specific drugs or certain types of therapy. Finally, we have Down syndrome, which is happens from a non-dysfunction mutation, specifically what's known as a trisomy 21. And so humans, as you can see in the background of the slide, humans have a total of 23 pairs of chromosomes. And as you can see, like as the red box shows, in a trisomy 21, instead of having two pairs of chromosome, there's an extra pair. And this can cause the affected person to have a weakening cognition as they get older, behavioral challenges, and they're also more susceptible to Alzheimer's, which is a disease relating to memory loss. And treatments relate to certain medications, working with healthcare providers, and also having working with types of technology. So to conclude, as I stated before, there aren't really any cures for these diseases or disorders yet. However, there is a lot of research being done related to it. And a potential drug in the future might be very complex in that it'd have to both be able to check and correct the mutation. Overall, it's really important to learn more about these and other disorders or these diseases so that everyone's overall more knowledgeable about them. Other than that, it's still really interesting to see how something so small as a mutation can have such a huge impact on a person's body and its functions. Thank you for listening.